Okay, this video is going to teach you how to add engraving onto a flask. So let's say it's Christmas time and we want to buy a flask for our friend John. So looking at these flasks, let's say we like the Raven Flask best, and so we have to click on it, and it takes us to its product page. On the product page, this is where you enter the engraving. So where you have to go is where it says personalize this product with free engraving, select yes. So looking at the engraving options, we can see that this item actually comes with 2 lines of free engraving. So let's say we want to put in the first line John's name and in the second line a date. Just to inform you is whenever you see 2 lines of engraving set up like this does not mean that it's 2 different flasks that have the engraving lines. It's all going to be on the same flask. So first thing you do is on the first line you enter John for his name, and then you select a font. Sometimes whenever you're entering the fonts, you kind of have to play around, mess around with the different fonts because this is an application, it doesn't always show up right away, but if you mess around and start selecting different fonts, then it does show up. So let's say, okay, Helvetica, I'm not too crazy about it. Let's look at Microgramma. Now, let's see, Roman block. Yeah, I like Roman block better, just want something that's kind of standard since it's a guy's name. Or a lot of times, let's see, or if I want something that's a little bit different. Actually, I like Old English for John's name, so I'm going to go with Old English for the first line. So now for the second line, since it's Christmas time, I want him to remember this was a Christmas gift. So I'm going to type in the date, 12/25/2012. Not crazy out of the way. Let's see, let's choose a font. Stick with the same font. I'm not crazy about the way that looks. I prefer having it set up as December 25. Okay, messing around with this is, you could tell once I'm trying to enter December 25, 2012, it's not letting me enter that complete date, and the reason why is because you have the character restriction of 15, and by characters, that includes spaces, any punctuation, dashes, numbers, and letters. So because of this, I'll just decide, when instead of having December 25 or 12-25-2012, I'm just going to put Christmas 2012, and that actually fits. So I can preview this font. Okay, I actually like the way that looks. Let me just see if I choose a different font, what it'll look like. One thing is when you have 2 lines engraved, you can select a different type of font for each line. So you don't always have to have exactly the same fonts for the first line and second line. But for now, I'm just going to keep both of the lines Old English because I like how that looks best. So once you're done entering your engraving, all you have to do is add the item to the cart. Okay, now you have the item into the cart, and then you can proceed to checkout. But wait a minute, if there's one thing I forgot to mention is that, okay, I actually need this item sooner than I expect, in a short amount of time. So one option is here, you actually want the engraving to be expedited, and what this means is that the day you place your order, the order is processed the next business day, and either your order ships out within 1 to 2 business days if you choose expedited engraving. So for example, if I order on Wednesday, my order will be processed on Thursday, and it'll be either shipped out Thursday or Friday. So one thing is, if you want to add expedite engraving to your order, you can't add it in the shopping cart area. What you're going to have to do is go back to that page and re-enter your engraving. So go back, select yes, and since I'm just going back on the same page, just remembering all my information, depending on your browser you're using, it may remember information. So I'm just previewing font to make sure everything looks right. And I want to expedite the engraving. The expedite engraving is an extra $3.95 charge. And if you want gift wrapping, we do have gift wrapping options available for an extra $4 charge for either birthday, gift for him, gift for her, or holiday. So okay, let's do this. Add to cart. And let's actually remove the item that does not have the expedite engraving. So that'll be the first one to the top. Now you have your item with the 2 lines engraving in Old English, John and Christmas 2012, and expedite engraving. So that's how you add an item with engraving to your cart.